Hello and welcome to EFD, where today we're looking at 10 young stars whose super clubs let slip through their fingers. 10. Matteo Guendouzi. A player capable of contributing meaningfully to a side competing for Champions League football is hard to find, and one who can do that at 19, harder still. But that's exactly what Arsenal got in Matteo Guendouzi, plucking him out of Lorient for €8 million, less than Man United pay Luke Shaw every year. The Frenchman, who chose to represent the country of his birth rather than Morocco, played over 2,100 league minutes for the Gunners in his first season, the 8th most in the squad. In that time, he won possession 3 times, completed over a dribble and managed around 70 passes a game, with an incredible 68% accuracy on his long balls alone, much better than a noted passer like Virgil van Dijk on 62%. While his positioning in defence is still raw without the danger sense which comes with experience, his physical and technical gifts makes him valuable in Emery's possession game, and he impressed so much over the first half of the year that PSG were linked with a 70 million move for him. Funny, given that they could have had him for free. Guendouzi, born on the outskirts of Paris, joined PSG's academy at 6 and played for them until he was 15, at which point he switched to Lorient for free, going on to make his professional debut just 2 months later. Since starting for Arsenal and France's under-21s, it's hard to say how high Guendouzi's ceiling is, but we would have loved to see him alongside Marco Verratti. 9. Reine-Adélaïde. While Matteo Guendouzi has already proven himself a steal for Arsenal, the Gunners have lost their fair share of talent. Ismail Bennacer left the club for €1 million, only to join Milan for 16 million in 2019. While Donyell Malen, who switched to PSV for 600k, has 5 goal involvements in 5 games across the Eredivisie and UCL qualifying this season, having bagged 15 in under 1,000 minutes last campaign. But Reine-Adélaïde might be the best of the bunch. The 21-year-old spent 3 seasons at the Emirates, having arrived from Lens, before the club apparently decided he would never be good enough, selling him to Angers for €1.6 million, a 900k loss on the fee they originally paid. The Frenchman registered 3 goals and 3 assists for the West France outfit in 2018-19 and excelled in driving his team forward, completing 3.3 dribbles a match to rank 7th in Ligue 1. That level of success in the middle of the park is rare. Reine-Adélaïde was the only central player in the top 10 and caught the attention of Lyon, who decided that the youngster's ball progression and Thiago Mendes' defensive work could combine to fill the gap left by Tanguy and Ndombele. Lyon spent €25 million plus bonuses to bring him to the club, making Reine-Adélaïde the most expensive signing in their history, meaning that while a sell-on clause in their contract netted Unai Emery's side close to £6 million, it's hard to feel they didn't miss a trick. 8. Armando Izzo. Okay, this may not be a young player, but it's still pretty bad business. Napoli had to recruit a centre-back this summer, with Raul Albiol at 33 finally slipping out the top level. And the partner pay went big, spending €36 million, the second biggest fee they've ever paid on Kostas Manolas. The Greek remains highly rated, but is 28, and made only 35 appearances in 2018-19, the fewest he's managed in a single season since 2010, when he was still playing in his homeland. And besides, a better option could have been Carlo Ancelotti's for free, if Napoli hadn't let Armando Izzo leave the club. Izzo is 27 but is Neapolitan born and bred, joining the Little Donkeys at 13 and rising through their academy and youth ranks over the next 9 years. Unfortunately, he was deemed unsuitable for top-flight football and joined third-tier Avellino, helping them to promotion before catching the eye of Genoa, who gave him his break in Serie A. In 4 years with the club, he made his name as an aggressive and classy defender, winning the ball back as many times as 7 a game and hitting over 4 accurate long balls a match. Though linked with Arsenal and Everton, the Italian ended up moving to Torino in 2018 for a bargain €10 million and helped them to their best defensive performance since their return to Serie A in 2012, conceding under a goal a game in league play. If he'd stayed in his hometown, Izzo could have become a legend and saved Napoli a fortune in the process. 7. Ola Aina. With Cesar Azpilicueta's age seemingly showing at the beginning of the Premier League campaign, Chelsea fans must wish they had a reliable option on the bench. Reece James, a potential star right-back of the future, began the season sidelined with an ankle injury, while the unwanted Davide Zappacosta returned to Italy, leaving Lampard's options in that slot worryingly thin. And worst of all, Ola Aina excels for Torino in Serie A. To be fair to the Blues, they had no chance to keep the Nigerian. He went on loan to Turin in 2018 with an option to buy, and during his year away, FIFA introduced new rules limiting the numbers of players a club can loan out, before handing Chelsea a 2-window transfer ban. Had they known, the West Londoners might have opted to keep Aina, as he earned them just €8 million despite making around 4 tackles and interceptions a game, winning 61% of his aerial duels and completing 1.3 dribbles a match during his spell at the Granata. Alongside Izzo, he was part of one of the best defences in the division at age 22 and contributed in attack as well, bagging a goal and 3 assists in Serie A. Fullbacks don't tend to age well, and Aspie is nearly 30, meaning his decline could be sooner and steeper than Frank Lampard would hope for. With a new look front line and Eden Hazard sunning himself in Madrid, Chelsea need all the help they can get as they fight to remain in the Champions League. 6. Andre Onana. The list of players to escape Barcelona over the years is long and illustrious, but that's also how it should be. Plenty of footballers are good enough for the top level, but not for the Blaugrana, and the Catalans are arguably better off without players like Mauro Icardi. But the club's hierarchy must have some regrets. Had they been more careful with their youngsters, the club could have Grimaldo and Bellerin at fullback, a pair they sold for €2.6 million, and it cost them €54 million in fees for Junior Firpo and Nelson Semedo. Similarly, promoting Andre Onana from La Masia would have saved them spending €50 million on Jasper Cillessen and Neto. The Cameroonian joined the academy at 14 and spent 5 years there, jumping ship for Ajax in 2015, just 1 year before Claudio Bravo left for Man City. If he'd stayed, he would have been an excellent backup for ter Stegen, having saved 4 goals more than expected goals would have predicted in the Eredivisie last season, and 5 more than expected in the Champions League as the Amsterdam side reached the semi-final. Also a notably strong passer in a possession side, Onana is now valued at €35 million according to Transfermarkt. Amazing given that Barca sold him for only €150,000 and that he's still just 23 years old. So when Barca critics claim that La Masia no longer creates world-class talent, they're wrong. It's just that very little of that talent is still at the Camp Nou. 5. Luca Pellegrini. It's strange to see Juventus swapping veterans for youngsters, but that's what happened in 2019. The old lady got a lot younger, bringing in 5 defenders with an average age of 21.8, and only that high because of the arrival of 28-year-old Danilo from Man City. As well as acquiring the continent's most coveted centre-back Matthias de Ligt, Juve once again outmaneuvered their rivals, swapping 26-year-old wing-back Leonardo Spinazzola for Roma prospect Luca Pellegrini, and picking up €7.5 million as part of the deal. Roman born and bred, Pellegrini should be ideally suited to helping Juve conquer Europe and be eased into the team as the understudy to Alexandro. Just 20 years old, he picked up 1,100 minutes last season for the Giallorossi and on loan at Cagliari, where he will spend another year, and looks a solid defender, winning possession 4.4 times a game for his team. In attack, there are signs of promise too, with over 1 dribble and 1 key pass per 90 minutes. Not staggering, but likely to improve in a side certain to dominate possession under Maurizio Sarri. With Totti retired and De Rossi leaving for Boca Juniors, Pellegrini would have given the Roma fans a hometown hero to root for, and have no doubt earned plenty of minutes as Kolarov closes in on his 34th birthday. Instead, Pellegrini is just another example of the brilliant transfer strategy which has turned Juventus from disgraced fallen giants into frontrunners for the Champions League, and the lopsided recruitment which made Roma the most unpredictable side in Italy. 4. Reece Oxford. Any academy player convinced they will make it as a professional could learn a lesson from Reece Oxford's story. The Englishman didn't just shine at youth level, he was lauded as a senior, helping West Ham to a 2-0 away win at Arsenal on his Premier League debut as a 16-year-old. However, he would make just 6 more appearances that season and has spent the last 3 campaigns on loan, first at Reading in the Championship and then at Borussia Mönchengladbach and Augsburg in the Bundesliga. Despite averaging just 6 games per season in that time, Oxford is still only 20 and is highly regarded in Germany, with Gladbach, Augsburg and Borussia Dortmund all trying to get a permanent deal done for him. And though Spurs and Man City were previously quoted €20 million for the youngster, he ended up moving to Augsburg permanently in 2019 for 3. That's shocking given that West Ham have conceded over 1.6 goals a game in the last 3 years, and yet chose not to strengthen their back lines in the transfer window, choosing to bring in Haller, Fornals and young striker Edgy, with the only defensive addition at 18-year-old centre-back in Gonçalo Cardoso. It also leaves Matteo Pellegrini with just 4 recognised central midfielders: 32-year-old Mark Noble, 33-year-old Carlos Sanchez, Jack Wilshere and Declan Rice. If Rice gets injured, the Irons could quickly find themselves needing a promising young DM. We wonder if the €3 million will turn out to be worth it. 3. Fodé Ballo-Touré. PSG are just one club, with Europe's best breeding ground of talent around them. So it's no surprise that Thomas Tuchel's side can't accommodate all the gems unearthed in Paris in a single jewellery box. Kingsley Coman and Adrien Rabiot are two to slip through the net, and while his name will be less familiar, Fodé Ballo-Touré could likely prove a costly loss. The left-back became a PSG player at 8, but was picked up by Lille on a free at 20, and then coach Marcelo Bielsa making him first choice on their flank. He remained in that position until halfway through the 18-19 campaign, perhaps surprisingly swapping a Lille team which could go on to finish second for a Monaco team which ended up 17th. However, the Frenchman shone for both clubs, averaging 4.2 tackles interceptions per 90 across the whole campaign and completing 81% of his challenges at Lille, though that dropped to 75% in the Monaco mess. He also excelled at ball progression, completing 1.7 dribbles a match to lead his side and ranked 4th among all Ligue 1 fullbacks. And while Ballo-Touré's style continues to rise, PSG are looking to sign a left-back for the 4th summer out of the last 5, having tried Kazawa, Bachichi and Bernat in the positions without great success. Perhaps he could find his way back to the Parc des Princes. 2. Christian Kouamé. You'd be forgiven for expecting Nicolo Zaniolo as Inter's most foolish sale, but Christian Kouamé could prove just as costly than Nerazzurri. The 21-year-old bounced around Italy as a youth player, turning out for Sassuolo, Prato and Inter, whose academy team loaned him when he was 18. But 3 years on, he's a Serie A regular and was the unsung star of Genoa's season, helping the Ligurian outfit avoid the drop by just 1 goal, with minus 18 goal difference to Empoli's minus 19. The Ivorian bagged 9 goals and assists in league play, but expected goals puts him closer to 12, thanks to his strong record of 2.5 shots per game and 1.4 key passes. In fact, Kouamé was responsible for 28% of his team's XG, remarkable given that Piontek played half a season with the club. And Kouamé is much more rounded than the pole. He completed 1.3 dribbles a match and is exceptional in the air, winning 6 aerial duels a game, the 4th best tally in Serie A. No wonder he played more minutes for Genoa than anyone else in 18-19. To be a club's 2nd best scorer, best creator, best ball progressor and best outlet all at once is pretty special, especially at such a young age. And with Inter's dearth of wide options, Kouamé's versatility could have come in handy. Not to mention his €15 million valuation, which could have helped offset the exorbitant Lukaku fee. With the forward now expected to end up at Napoli, Antonio Conte will have to watch a rival get stronger at his expense. 1. Mario Hermoso. Diego Godin's boots are big ones to fill, though Google couldn't tell us exactly how big. The Uruguayan enjoyed 9 glorious years at Atletico Madrid, making 389 appearances and winning 8 trophies, including La Liga, as well as reaching 2 Champions League finals. In that time, Atleti conceded 281 goals in 342 league games, turning themselves from Derby Day punching bags into an impregnable outfit feared across Europe. But Godin is at Inter now, and so Diego Simeone shelled out €25 million for Espanyol's Mario Hermoso, a ball-playing centre-back with the talent to replace the irreplaceable. Hermoso is already top class, but at 24, he has also the potential to become even better, and he'll be motivated to do so at the Wanda Metropolitano. The defender actually came up in Real Madrid's academy, making him one of several former Los Blancos prospects now turning out for the Rojiblancos, alongside Marcos Llorente, Alvaro Morata and Saul. However, at 22, he was still in the reserves, and Zinedine Zidane sanctioned his sale to Espanyol for €12.5 million, where his distribution and composure earned him an international call-up. In 2018-19, he averaged 5 accurate long balls per 90, the same as Luka Modric, and his talent for sweeping up behind a more aggressive partner sparked rumours of a return to Bernabeu, especially with Real retaining a €7.5 million buyback. But Zidane passed again, preferring to drop $50 million on Eder Militao and allowing Simeone to sew up a deal for Hermoso at half that price. Able to play at centre-back or left-back, Hermoso fills the holes left by Godin and Lucas Hernandez and looks set to excel for his club and country for years to come. One of the bargains of the summer. So those were our 9 youngsters and 1 old guy we think super clubs shouldn't have sold. But do you think we've missed out anyone else? Please let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this, please click on the video on screen for more, and don't forget to like and subscribe.